Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring Luxus's guide to Kitsadria. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this species of tricksters and shapeshifters, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the Cleric and the Druid, a new domain, and new circles. Let's start with the Cleric. We have the Mischief domain. Clerics of the Mischief domain follow after gods that revel in causing harmless discord, including Somnus Domina's Luxus. They are less traditional than clerics often tend to be, using their abilities to humble those who use their control over others to cause misfortune and unhappiness. They often act like vagabonds, rogues, performing deeds against those they consider to be stuffy or arrogant, and trying to reintroduce some zest into the lives of those around them. Let's talk about some of its features. We have the Swift Improved Critical. You score a critical hit on melee attacks using weapons with the Light or Finesse property on an attack roll result of 19 or 20. You have Channel Divinity Echo Attack. You can use your Channel Divinity to fool a creature's senses and strike when their back is turned. As an action, you can teleport to an unoccupied space adjacent to one creature within 60 feet of you, leaving an illusory clone behind you momentarily. Then take 2 weapon attacks against the target as part of the same action. If the creature could see you when you teleport, they must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failure, they lose track of you, and both of your weapon attacks have advantage, and the first to hit deals an extra number of one of your weapon's damage die, equal to your proficiency bonus, but this damage is thunder damage. You also have Quick-Witted Illusion. On your turn, when you take the attack action, you may choose to cast an illusion spell with a casting time of 1 action or 1 bonus action as part of the same action, and these are just some of the features. Then we have the Druid circles, such as the Circle of Pestering. Proficient in seeking out particular individuals and tagging along, blissfully unaware of if they are needed or wanted, Druids of the Circle of Pestering are slippery individuals who are difficult to understand, pin down, or avoid. They have an uncanny sense of direction when seeking out others, and seek to just as easily vanish from sight when they don't want to be caught. You have features such as Rascal's Whisper. You learn the message Cantrip, which does not count against your cantrips known. When you cast Message, you do not have to point at your target, and can choose a number of extra creatures within the spell's range equal to your proficiency bonus. Your targets all hear the message you whisper, and each of them can contribute a response that all the targets and you hear. When you cast the spell, you can choose any targets who you wish to not be able to respond. You also have Hide and Seek. You gain proficiency in Dexterity Stealth checks, and can take the Hide action as a bonus action. If you cast a spell while hidden against a creature that cannot see you, that creature has disadvantage on the first saving throw they make against it. There is also Blurred Reflection. You have learned how to further confuse your enemy's perception of you. You can cast Misty Step at will, and blur a number of times per long rest equal to half your proficiency bonus, rounded down. Then we have the Circle of Souls. Druids from the Circle of Souls take care to nurture and support souls that have yet to pass on, and use their influence over them to aid those whose time has not yet come to return to their bodies. They can draw energy out of a creature's spirit, or form a rapport with a fading spirit to speak to it and ease its anguished heart. They can often be found in places where the undead have taken root, and lend their efforts to returning their desecrated bodies back to their natural state. You have features such as Spirit Weave. You can create an ethereal weave that twists and winds around your astral form, invisible to all except you and those who can see into the ethereal. This chain connects various small motes of spiritual energy that you draw upon. You have a number of spirit links equal to your proficiency bonus. When you make an attack roll or saving throw, you can choose to extend a spirit link to roll 1d4 and add it to the result. You regain expended spirit links when you complete a long rest. You also have Spirit Sap. When you score a critical hit or reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points within a certain distance of you, you can choose to absorb a fraction of their departing soul and use it to empower you. You can choose to either regain 1 expended spirit link or gain temporary hit points equal to 1d8 plus half of your druid level, rounded down. Once you do so, you cannot use this feature again until the start of your next turn. You also have Last Thoughts. If you touch the body of a dead creature, you can speak to and communicate with its dead soul telepathically, as long as it has not been dead for longer than 1 day. When you do so, you can only speak with it for up to a certain number of minutes, after which point communicating with it further becomes impossible through this method. Any creature who is in physical contact with you, when you are in contact with a recently departed soul, can hear you converse, and may telepathically speak to them as well, if you allow it. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about the Fighter and the Inscriptor. When it comes to the Cleric, this is a very interesting variation because you are a Trickster Cleric. You are going to be quite effective when it comes to supporting the melee classes, but also at misdirection. When it comes to the Circle of Pestering, I think this one is great for both utility and moving across the battlefield as a skirmisher. You can communicate with others somewhat secretly, with several player characters at the same time, or non-player characters of course. But you can also move through sticky situations without the enemy being able to touch you because of your stealthy and blurry effects. Concerning the Circle of Souls, this feels a bit like a combination of Druid with Necromancer. Not so much, perhaps, a Spiritualist and a Druid. You can also heal, you can communicate with the natural world and wield its powers, but you also benefit from the deathly energies around you. If you are taking on an adventure or perhaps an entire campaign featuring the undead, this is a perfect subclass for that, if you don't want to participate as a cleric or as a necromancer. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.